Hey there, welcome back to the Golden Age at DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this well-loved coffee table book given to me by one of my best friends about 2 decades ago, which has been surfing my coffee table ever since. I am going to use this book for its intended purpose, to talk about comic books, to have comic book shop conversations right here with you, right now, every day. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, come on by. We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. And just to let you know, there's a link in the description to the Amazon page if you want to pick up your own copy. You can get it at a decent price. Last time I checked, it was under $20. And it's a hardcover coffee table book. And what goes great with coffee tables, coffee table books, coffee table people pulling up a chair and grabbing a cuppa, coffee table talk, and we need coffee. I need more coffee, to be honest. This wonderful Tanzanian pea berry. I love these global roasts. It's a medium roast. And I need more coffee. My dentist asked me, "You drink coffee, yes?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Can you drink less?" "No." "No." Not going to happen. But I will come in and use my dental insurance for one of those whitenings. You know what I mean? Anytime. How's that sound? And the Golden Age of DC Comics runs from 1938 until 1955. The Silver Age begins in 1956 and runs till 1970. The Silver Age also coincides with the Comic Code Authority seal. You know this. This was signed by Klaus Johnson at the Comic Con. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna have Frank Miller sign this too. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a con just to see Frank Miller. I'm gonna do that. Just have him sign that funny book. Yeah, that'll make me happy as a comic book fan. And this makes me happy as a comic book fan too. And how are you doing today? You make me happy as a comic book fan. Tuning in, having these conversations that we used to have in the comic book shop. And let's get to it. Today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Well, I'm a huge a huge Star Wars fan from back in the day, so May the 4th be with you too. I knew I did that on purpose. That's because I was being silly. I know, huh? Who's being the stinker? Me? Am I being a heavy thinker or a heavy stinker? You tell me in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. It's May 4th, and let's get to it. And there's a lot of letters. Oh, and in the words of Jim Kirk, Captain Admiral James T. Kirk in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Damn. It's May the 4th. This is story by Gardner Fox, art by E. Hibbard from Flash Comics number 3, March of 1940. And let's look at the art just real quick. And we'll get back to it too. But I love the illusion of motion, speed lines, the wind. These are just two-dimensional drawings of real happenings and, or imaginary happenings rather, but you got to convey that. Once DC established that the Flash was the fastest man alive, it fell to the artists to discover ways of depicting super speed. The simplest, introduced by the character's original artist, Harry Lampert, was to draw a series of speed lines behind the character. Lampert, who only worked on the Flash's first 2 stories, also introduced the more startling technique of constructing the hero's entire body out of parallel lines. Of course, the easiest way out was just to put a lot of lines and leave the figure drawing out of the picture entirely, thus cutting down on the work while simultaneously suggesting that the Flash was quicker than the eye. The Flash is halfway up the staircase of the Empire State Building in 1 second! Eek! Oh no. Is this problematic? Having a lady there? I mean, what's up with that, huh? She drops her purse. No, she's on the. She probably hopefully works at the Empire State Building, which was just full of offices. It was a posh place to have your office near Manhattan, one of the world's most popular and notable skyscrapers. It was the tallest skyscraper for a while too, before Chicago had the Sears Tower, or whatever they call it now, and skyscrapers, huh? And the Superman and way back couldn't fly, but he had the ability to leap tall buildings with a single bound. And so he would be able to leap over these skyscrapers with one jump. Isn't that awesome? It's fantastic. It's spectacular. What are my show notes? I have show notes. I have show notes. The wind and blur of the Flash. Oh, and I wanted to talk about the Copper Age too. I love this concept of the ages of comic books. So let's just talk real quick once again about the ages. I recently, if you've been tuned in all this time, you know that this is part of the conversation. It's one of the themes of what I'm talking about this year, and I've been talking about it literally for months. And it's the ages of comic books, starting with the Golden Age of DC Comics, introducing this pantheon of an American mythology of gods and goddesses, like the Greeks and the Romans and all the ancient cultures had as well. Human appearing people with great gifts, and it's just but it starts with this Golden Age. That's 1938 to 1955. The Silver Age, 1955 to 1956 to 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby myself, 1970 to about 1985. Now there's a Copper Age that Overstreet suggests exists between 1986 and 1992. The Copper Age, according to the 51st most current Overstreet Price Guides glossary, the Copper Age runs from 1984 until 1992. And 1992, that would be the advent of Image Comics. But a lot happened between 84 and 92. I can see that totally being its own thing, but I would rather see it as being Act One of a three-act story. And I would like to see the Copper Age be blown up a bit more. I would like to see it from 1985 until 2000. And this Act 1 of what Broad Street defines to 92, that encompasses Crisis on Infinite Earths, Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns, and Dark Horse Comics coming into their own. And also Vertigo becoming a thing. Vertigo is just coming on the horizon. In 89, there wasn't Vertigo yet. But all those stories were starting to be told with Sandman and Constantine Hellblazer and Swamp Thing. And it was a real interesting time. But in 92 came Image Comics. And also X-Men Volume 2, number 1 by Jim Lee. The million seller, the big one, that was huge. That is like the gold standard of modern comic books. But also what came a few years later in the mid-90s was the speculator implosion, where comic books were being treated like other popular things at the time. We would call them FNTs now, but back then in the 90s, they were more like Beanie Babies. And later on, like Pokemon cards and things. There's a speculator market, and that's how they gain value and lose value. But comic books were a part of that, and there was a collapse in the mid-90s. And then that would be my Act 2. And my Act 3 of this Copper Age would be until the late 90s, until 2000. And where you had this renaissance of quality storytelling using these beloved properties and characters. both on DC and in Marvel. J. Michael Straczynski and John Romita Jr. on Amazing Spider-Man at this time is just, it's amazing. There's a random suggestion for you. Grant Morrison and Howard Porter's Justice League of America, JLA, about the same years going on as well. Check that out. These over in Wildstorm, you had Warren Ellis on Stormwatch. Have you ever heard of any of this? These were amazing superhero stories, and I can totally see 2000 being the dividing line, and call it the Millennium Age, the next one, because that was, and from 2001 to 2015, call this the Millennium Age, because I truly think that we're in a new age of comic books right now. And I think, looking at the Bronze Age and the Silver Age, that 15 years seems to be a really good run, an amount of years for an age of comics. But what do you think? I'd love to know what you think. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation about comic books and this comic book shop fashion. We are talking about the ages of comic books. Maybe I can contribute to the lexicon and the definition with my broadened definition of a copper age. What do you think? I'd love to know what you think about this. We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. Like and subscribe if you could be so kind. I would love to earn your subscription. I am an ordained minister, an amateur theologian, so I make spiritual content. Hashtag lighten up. It's about enlightenment, and we get spiritual here with gratitude lists and Sunday sermons, where I talk about spirituality. I'm also a professional chef. I share with you my cooking hacks. There's a playlist called What's Cooking, so check that out as well. We talk about comic books every day. That's daily content. I wake up so early in the morning before the sun. I see bunnies every morning. So I take little cute animal videos too. I think it's cute. And so yeah, I would love to earn your subscription. And thank you so much. I hope your day is going awesome. Every day is a great day to read a comic book. I mean, I hope it transports you to another place just for a few minutes, and you can worry about this Earth's misery by, enjoying some action on another fictional planet. And that's, isn't that the point of it all? This escapism, this, to be free of our earthly worries, if not just for a few minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Namaste. Good luck, and see you tomorrow. Okay. Cheers.